stomp down on the team that they are supposed to beat. But when it comes to punching up, well, especially against Evil Geniuses, they have a tough time, usually. And it's, well, I mean, if they can keep at least this map competitive, they can keep their hopes of a solid season up and running. So, Detonate on their end, they're currently 2-3. They've avoided auto relegation. They can only go higher than this.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I couldn't agree more, right? This team is usually a roster that's not going to lose to teams that they shouldn't be losing to, right? Those move up advanced rosters that definitely will struggle here and there when it comes to fresh faces. But like you said, this isn't a fresh face team. Evil Geniuses have all the experience in the world. And going up against them, it definitely shows the struggles here. Laco's showing up in connector. George follows up. Oh, this has just been completely swiped aside.
That is tragic. If there's any way to start a map, a 3-man connector setup deals a total of 16 damage, Cole.
Oh, God. That is rough.
And they're just going to execute into this site for free. I mean, Micro will drop into the pit to hope that there's some form of resistance, but George just gonna B-hop all over the site, practicing that KZ. And Micro gets the worst end of it. Cryptic's gonna get ran down, and I can't count how many players Evil Geniuses... I mean, you could count how many Evil Geniuses players have died in these last couple of rounds on your fingertips. It's a flawless pistol for them.
Oh, just incredible work right there. Evil Geniuses picking right up where they left off there. 16-1. We'll see again how many rounds Detonate can actually get. CT side of Overpass, you know, obviously we talk about how CT side of this map can be, so maybe you can have some sense of comfort, but clearly Evil Genius has picked into this because they've gotten the map pick of Detonate out of the way, that being Inferno. They can't believe their luck. But, yeah, I mean, CT side of Overpass, I think, is my one big win condition. Detonate, if they can close out a very competent half here, you know, maybe even a dominant half of like a 4-11, 10-5 type deal, I could see them winning, but pistol round going their wrong way.
Yikes.
And a little farm frenzy coming through from Walco and Wiz. I can't imagine a world where Detonate get that dominant half.
Yeah, I mean... It's really gonna have to start unbelievably strong right here. Well, I do think, you know, they have certain individuals, specifically Micro, who is able to take over games against some of the top dogs. He's done it in past seasons. It's, I think, generally said, the competition in ECL has leveled up over these past couple of seasons, you know, since the COVID days. We have a ton of real, actual, like, internationally competitive teams in this, season of ECL, with teams like ATK, Nouns, MIBR, Team 1. That's a great start, though, for Detonate onto one of those teams. Walco's gonna hit the deck early.
Yeah, Micro taking over the server right now. He doesn't even have to see his opposition. This is gonna be their first kill so far, though, opening up proceedings for this Detonate roster. And again, like I had mentioned, it has to start here and it has to start now if they do want chances, but Rush, oh, defense. The plot. Oh, and Cryptic gets spotted out towards long here. This is very, very awkward. There's a far removed rotations as well. No one is close to this A-bomb site, so it's all going to be on the back of these two players, one of which is down to 41 HP.
Yeah, and now Rush is even hearing these jump spots, and so he's in such an advanced position to where Detonate might not expect this MAC-10 to get up close. Now, you do see a rotation actually coming through in the form of Micro. He's making his way back up to the A site. Potentially in time. The time to swing, and he's gonna get punished. Just held for by George. They press the brakes, and it works wonderfully. They have themselves a 4-on-4 onto the site. George is gonna tap out Cryptic at that range. You don't get a chance. Rush, MAC-10 around the site. Nice 3-man stack you had there. Evil Geniuses dismiss it. And the plant goes through. I think you need to save here for Detonate.
There's no question about it. I was gonna say I was a little bit nervous about the hesitancy and the lack of proactivity coming through there from Evil Geniuses, but it all worked out in their favor because everyone just comes walking into their crosshairs and they just have to post up and wait. It works out wonderful for Evil Geniuses, and again, sorry for ever doubting your game plan there. You clearly had the right idea. even catching out the aggressive move with Rush onto one of the players that doesn't have head Kevlar in that last round. That's just brutal stuff. The Mac 10 can just tear right through you. Saving these rifles isn't a guarantee, but no way they would double back in towards Graffiti, right? They should be safe.
Alright, so the rest of Detonate will tuck away, but 3-0, it's so similar. I mean, a single kill was all Detonate have been able to muster in these last 3 rounds.
That's the first time anyone survived a round, by the way.
That is so true.
Detonate.
That is actually true. They had no saves on that CT side because, well, they only had 2 rounds to play. And, you are 100% correct, Cole.
Absolutely wild. Testament to the strength right now. A sign of the times. George not even giving him a chance to get this 5-man stack going. Flashbang goes a little bit deep. There you go, spotting out everyone. He's still gonna nail Brett. That is brutal stuff. I think Brett was one of the rifles there. He's the first to go down. At least they trade, and at least they recover 3 rifles in this round. So maybe more can survive here for Detonate.
Is that really the goal of this round, Cole? It's not about winning. It's about surviving. It's about that KD. Nah, but, Detonate, they are going to throw themselves into the furnace of this B site. I don't think their intent is to plant the bomb. Their intent is to get their 3rd kill. And they do have Stanislaw in a prime position. He's pinned down, but it doesn't care, dude. He will get traded out. They will drag down Stan. And yeah, I guess if that's an objective, getting their 3rd kill, they did achieve that.
Producer said playing for stats. I don't even know if that's not even a bonus on the stats. It's a net negative. I was surprised that they went for that. Obviously, they've got purchases coming up in this round, right? But I guess that is in a Counter-Strike. That's just like the little Twitter meme that you made.
Yeah.
Where we don't save. We don't play the statistics. We go for the miracle clutches.
Yeah. Random NA stuff. Exactly. Saving, that's a losing mentality. You go for it every single round. 1v5, glass cannon AWP, no problem. There's always a chance, and a chance to pick up a round here for Detonate as they've actually stifled the play early on. A 3v5 for once here, Detonate with an advantage.
Cannot afford to let this one slide. That's one thing I know for certain. This needs to be a converted round right now. And again, last time they had any sort of thing go their way, I felt like they gave it back. They overextended somewhat and got punished for it. So I want to see them, especially in this position, just not give over anything. Make no mistakes at the moment.
But of course, Detonate, they've had the bug to push some of these positions, even in that advantage. But it might not be happening today. Of course, these smokes continually keep EG at bay. Wow, Detonate playing an extremely passive setup, though. It will come down to the gunfights. But if Evil Geniuses take these, you know, they've been given the space to execute. Could be good, but Brett, that's a great swing. That takes down Wiz. Flash up to the sky. Walko grabs Freshies, but the flashes are great. The trade is there. And Detonate will pick up all 5 by elimination and pick up their 1st round.
That is a welcomed sight right there on Overpass. Again, I said that they probably needed a dominant half here on the CT side. I'm going to stick with that judgment. They definitely are going to need as much buffer as they can get here in this first half, and that is a start. That's actually a tidy start. Now, I don't think that you're going to see Evil Geniuses play as loose as around like that any longer. They've learned their lesson, and now they're looking to buckle down here potentially. The slower default, a lot of presence in connector and outside of A right now, so seemingly where their end goal lies in.
Start more spam Stan here from Micro has dealt some good damage in the past. Detonate taking a bit more of a risky approach on their setup, though, with a double long setup. Leaves that bathroom's position open and a straight shot into that A site, but with Cryptic returning in towards long bathrooms, starting to establish some of that control.
Nice protocols here. Good movements coming through from Detonate. Much more promise showing up from them than prior rounds here. Again, taking some forward stances, having that spare rotation on the bomb site as well. So it's very well could go into their favor. Proactive here. Waiting for it was Rush, but still Cryptic walks away the victor and gets out of dodge.
Florence's op is coming back in rotation, but crossing in the middle of the open. Oh my goodness, a risky peek there from Florence, but he can still pay dividends. He does unscope, he does let go of the line, and he doesn't hit the flick. It's Stan on entry duty on the Micro, and he's just gonna plant the bomb with George covering. It's looking so good here for EG. Another 3-man A stack disassembled. And it's a 2 versus 3. Already these rotations coming through. Freshy making his way in, and Stan just cannot be beat right now. 6 kills to his name, 3 on the round. Brett with the trade, but with times ticking so darn low, he won't even have his chance to get his hands on a kit. Walko's gonna finish him off, and EG are right back to winning ways.
Yeah, like you said, they just can't be stopped here. It's Stan, it's the rest of the roster just completely lining up perfectly with each other, and I don't mean that in a bad sense, right? They are perfectly trading. They're spaced out so well. You can see even with that bomb planter, the presence of mind just to give that slight coverage to make sure they can plant the bomb with safety. Make sure that there's no way that Detonate can hold off and isolate fights to, pluck the way back into these rounds. It's perfect. Out of them. And that's just great damage as well. Micro put on notice, misses the initial op shot there.
And George, at the same time, he just cleaned Cryptic from this round. And Flash is there to suppress potential long players. They're gonna try to pop in towards the bathroom. They did miss their flash. The flash hit George instead, so it's a little risky, and actually will get punished. But Micro is trapped right now. At the same time, though, Walko let go of the line, so allowed to flee for the moment. But in the meantime, Stan is walking out Monster right now, while Detonate still think it's an A play. Oh, they are about to get a rude awakening here, Cole. Actually, Freshie just barely escaped those players. Oh, but they have a free B site. And perhaps for the better here, Detonate didn't see those players, because I think this is about to be a save.
Sometimes it's best just to not have to deal with some of these issues, some of these problems at the moment, and that's exactly what they'll be afforded. Still, though, Evil Geniuses getting stuck in this half quite nicely. I mean, a 1-6 scoreline already, even if best case scenario it ended at a 9-6 half. I don't know how comforting that is anymore on this map. Right, it's workable, but I feel like that's workable if you're on a level playing field with your opponents, and right now it's anything but level. Evil Geniuses have had your number in so many different occasions. They're playing well off each other, and they don't show any signs of stopping. That's where the problems lie in.
Detonate looking to get back on their feet. They have a saved AWP, but there hasn't been the impact from that op. And Evil Geniuses have done a good job playing around it in particular. So, we'll see how they play around Wiz's AWP on the other end of things. That's what Florence will have to contend with. But we've been seeing all the riflers here for EG really getting unlocked. Stan Walko sitting at the top of their teams respectively alongside George. But this double connector setup to try to use that. We do have Wiz's AWP. No connection there, but there will be the trade. Wiz stepping up and giving his team a man advantage.
That's exactly how you want it to go. Ooh.
Oh, has
it's
that been
barrel.
heard? I think his barrel was spotted. Lawrence is not escaping this one. The timing is not good for him. And so they will sprint up long, being evil geniuses, up to that A site. Stan, here's one singular rotation. And I think he has this next kill locked in as... Oh, the timing could not be better here for Brett. He'll strike for the first, but not the second. And Micro will be coming back in rotation, but George has just found an empty A site. This is going to be the round here for EG.
George gonna have himself a field day here on site for a little while. Micro, though, is making a pretty rapid rotation in towards A now as he hears the footsteps, if he even wants to go for this. I guess you do have a molly, so if you can flush anyone out with that molly, maybe you can make things work. Alongside that, there's ample money to go around here for another purchase in the next round. I mean, even Cryptic could be bought up, but again, taking the more logical approach to this situation here. We'll see if logic even matters, as there's someone waiting around in the outside of connector now, but he moves on past it. No worries.
Unblinking as he moves across the entirety of Overpass. You would think their eyes get pretty dry after keeping it open for their entire lives. That's a very good question our producer poses. Could Source 2 have player models that blink? What if that was all Source 2 was? All the hype.
You gotta take your upgrades where you can get them. That's all we get. We gotta be thankful.
Yeah. 7 rounds now for Evil Geniuses. Single saved AWP is all Detonate can bring home. I mean, you were talking a potential 11-4 half for Detonate for them to get back in the game. What about 11-4 for EG?
That's the case. Oh my god.
It just doesn't stop. It keeps looking great here as Micro blinded up. Nate kills all the way here for Detonate. Micro swings out for a good one as well. The molly will force him out of position inside the smoke around the edge. Wiz will connect the shot, but George's kill could seal the round as Florence coming in a late rotation up short. If they don't respect this position, could pay dividends. Hawking just past him. Now they might start to guess this position is a possibility. He's gonna have to hit this first flick onto George. Kills there. Duel versus Wiz. 1v1, and Wiz is gonna win it. No chances given. No clutches there for Detonate. 8-1 for EG.
It was not going to miss twice right there. That is for sure. And he does not. He strikes up a winning half now. For Evil Geniuses, they've got to be feeling so confident. I mean, this is just looking like a quick day at the office. You know, get in and out. This one is our freebie. This is what we were talking about here. The teams that we should see EG winning in this sort of fashion, though. This is what looks so good about it. They are just making quick work of this roster, who has proven to be pretty good this season. They've got some nice wins underneath their belt again, taking down some of the, lesser tier opposition, but still, I mean, doing it in confident fashion. But right now, they're looking like the team that they've been best in all season, if not worse, and extended by Stan with a nice opening pick.
Yeah, Detonator's actually stayed competitive against some of the best so far. I mean, even against MIBR, sure, a 2-0, but double digits on both maps. They kept it close. They made MIBR sweat for it. But in this 4v5 right now, it is no sweat right now for Evil Geniuses. They've just overtaken the entire A site, and they know everything. They literally know everything. They have 2 barrels trained at that smoke as it faded. I mean, Evil Geniuses are just over every single play. It's almost, they have like infrared vision. They have the entire strat book. They have the info. Someone leaked the documents. EG up to 9. It's gonna get worse as no one survives.
Man. What about, so we talked about 14-4, your favorite, but why not make it another 16-1? Get a...
It's been a bit since I've seen a pair of those. I know there has been like one double 16-0 in like HLTV history. A 32-0.
Oh.
We meme about it, but a 32-2 is something else.
Yeah, that'd be impressive here. That would really show how good this team is at the moment. How wide the gap is between some of the best competition. What?
Nice try. Nice try. 10-1, folks. That's I'm calling it here, Cole.
Feel confident in that statement. I can't blame you.
I'm never wrong.
Unless the mag 7
Oh, is it gonna? No.
saves
Surely.
it.
It almost took down George, but he's not getting anything more than 13 damage that round. 10-1 EG.
Wow. This is wild right now. I did not expect to see this level of dominance come through from Evil Geniuses. I thought Detonate would be able to put up a fight. Again, like you had said, I expected some close games out of them. But that is just not the team that we're witnessing. Evil Geniuses playing on a whole nother level. When will it end? When will Detonate be relieved?
Oh, that's something. George has been getting so much leeway out towards party. Finally, it's someone who silences him. But Wiz, on the other hand, he's creeping up short. He has his posted and is going to find Freshie. But Micro comes up with a double kill. And some good news in the Detonate camp for once.
And Cryptic, now whopping, is helping out as well. I mean, whatever helps you close out these rounds is something that you need to take here, whether it be the double up on the A bomb site, which is underrated, I've got to say. Underused in the tier 1 space. You guys got to get on this. Double up A side. You can't, it's almost unbeatable.
There's no way Stan wins this, right? He's hit a timing. He's just hit an absolutely...
nasty.
He's just hit an absolutely insane timing onto this A site.
Doesn't even know what he has.
Doesn't
even know what he has, but now he's going to see it.
Oh, no. It's so
Ooh.
unfortunate. If that was the one tap, that would be it. But shot in the back by Florence. That was one of the craziest timings I've seen in a while. Poor Florence. He didn't get punished for it. Neither did Detonate. It's their second round on the board.
Nicely done. Need a whole lot more where that came from, but you gotta start somewhere. So we'll see if they can hold on to any sort of momentum. Slowly but surely. I don't know if I can say that with that much confidence here.
Yeah. But that's a start, at least. You know, makes you smile. Just a bit.
Not the back-to-back 16-1s at the very least.
Thankfully. Thankfully that. A push in here from Evil Genius, or rather from Detonate, in towards the short side will be allowed here by EG. But in towards Connector. Oh, Florence, he stuck around for too long. Walco's going to trade. Cryptic, up close. He's getting wrapped right now by some AWP players. And, oh, Walco actually let him go by. He didn't clear his corners. Cryptic will actually get away with one onto George. And inside Connector, knock, knock. There's two players. And Freshie will double up. To the joy of Detonate fans. I think we're going to see a third round out of them.
Nicely done. Making it look a little bit more comfortable, although I don't think if there was for the heroic Freshie that we'd have much of a chance. And it will shut things down. Money is still... good for the rest of the half here for Evil Geniuses, so that's not going to be a problem, but nonetheless, you're starting to build up something. A little bit of a momentum stopper for Evil Geniuses. Maybe it's just pride rounds for you, just to give yourself some confidence here. Again, a close map would be nice for this roster. It would be more testament to their ability. It would probably be good for their confidence here, even if they don't necessarily make playoffs here, which I think is a bit unlikely if they lose this map. But at least it's something here. But Wiz, oh, looking to deny that here. He's not looking to give him any comfort.
Oh, but Stan has been wallbanged down again. Shut out. And Freshy, are you... Okay, no, he's not going to walk through that smoke. Instead, there's going to be a re-smoke, and they're going to try pushing through again. Oh! They fired. They just to bait them into the flashbang, though. It's a 2 for 2, but all the information is there for Detonate. How do they react? Lawrence, I'm wondering if those footsteps have been heard. He's going to arrive through. He's going to spot a shoulder. He's going to take the kill. Next up is Walco in that 1v2. He's going to smoke down the door. And slink away.
Sneaky as ever. Walco, again, he's decided he's going to be the player this map, alongside George, who is always one of the players, to do the damage here in this game right now. Leading the charge 13 and 6. But this off angle from Florence, I mean, it is oh so deadly. No way you can anticipate something like this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Oh my goodness! Apparently, Cole,
What?
you just cursed him. 20 seconds remaining here for Walco. Make it 15. Micro not hearing any footsteps on the A side is only confirmation Walco is here. He's going to cross out into the open, and the off angle's too good for Micro. It will be Detonate to pick up the round, but good God, Walco gave it a go.
Oh my God, what? What do you even... Again, it's one of those shots that you just have to tip your hat to Walco right there. Feels like nothing could go right in some of these occasions, but the rounds are, so that's what matters most, even if sometimes the exchanges aren't.
And so Evil Geniuses, they're looking to press Florence, going for this kind of peek. No way you survived that. They're so close to you already that they're gonna push through Monster. A bit of an error here from Detonate, and Rush is already knocking on the site. He gets the second and picks apart this defense, but Cryptic, that's a nice shot to bring things back. Drops the bomb, slows them down. But they themselves are smoked out, slowed down themselves, and Micro gets picked off by a 2-tap from Stan. They will boost up. Stanislaw absolutely ready for this kind of shenanigans. But Cryptic still gets up and above, but George is planting on the opposite side of the pillar.
Oh, he spotted him out.
Tragic. And Brett, he's going to push through Monster right in his demise. That's Walco. That's 11-4 for EG. It's a bit more competitive here from Detonate on Overpass, but it's still a high road they need to run.
Yeah, that's definitely a tough road back into this one here, and we'll see if they can overcome, climb back up the mountain here that they have to, and try and punch back to Evil Geniuses. But that seems like a tall task here. We'll be throwing it to a quick break to see if Detonate can deliver. We'll be right back.
Sitting on a bench, waiting for the time to pass, dreaming of what happens next. I see what I wanna be, questioning my destiny, only knowing what I see. I don't even realize I've already made a path, and I can change it anytime. I can't take it back. I know what I want, but it seems so damn far.
see a much more competitive game out of Evil Geniuses this time around, or rather, out of Detonate this time around. As Evil Geniuses, though, are still holding on to an 11-4 lead. My name is Fine, joined by Colt Extra McHenry. This one could still be over quick, though.
Oh
speak of the devil.
God. That's a lovely way to kick things off right there. Like you said, this one could be over very quick. We said 11-4 is what Detonate needed. EG got it instead. And, well, they've got the opening pick as well, alongside a whole lot of deterrence.
Walking up towards mid right here. There is Wiz on the angle. Timing to peek. He's going to spot both players and get both kills. He's on for the ace. Unfortunately, that will be ripped away from him by Walco. In the meantime, Wiz is hunting for his 4K. Does Brett even want to give him the opportunity? The off angle being played. And the backup has arrived if anything goes wrong here for Wiz, but they're going to let him have it. Stand, crisp, clean, tap. 12-4, rather, for Evil Geniuses. I just can't get any of my numbers right. As Detonate, well, they're down a pistol now.
Yeah, this pistol round without the bomb plant here, you can only imagine. Full Glock round is what it's going to lead into, which, surprisingly, EG don't buy 5 MP9s again. They're changing up the gameplay on only 2 MP9s, which you can, you know, respect a little bit more. The 5 MP9 buys is like, you'd kind of need a big miracle or a big play if you wanted to make that work come the 3rd round of the half. This is much more serviceable. 2 MP9s in the mix there to farm up sweet eeks, and then the rest of the roster here to prepare themselves for the next round.
Let's go ahead and check on into Detonate. They've only bought Deagles this round. Oh, what? Sure. That works. Florence might be good for it, as Stanislaw is in big trouble. He only collects a single kill, but their MP9 of Rush charges in, and he collects 3. Dude, this thing is a laser beam for this man. And I'm not sure what else is there to say, but you get 1. You still have 4 more EG players to deal with. 13-4 now.
Yeah, he turns on burst mode with that thing and just is able to snipe away. I don't know, I didn't know there was a new setting on that gun, but apparently Rush has unleashed it, unlocked it. What an incredible recovery, again against pistols. Here's where the real test is made. And because of the pretty hefty Deagle investment here, you got 3 AKs, or 4 AKs rather, my apologies. 3 of which have absolutely no utility.
So, at the minute 40 mark, they have a single smoke, and they have to contact walk Monster. Ooh, that flash could have been on the money there for a moment. But now they're going to run on out. Walco not deterred at all. A double kill for him. And even still inside of the barrels position, a couple players reside. Well, Rush gets 1. He'll get dealt with. The flashes here are just so good. And the MP9s just hunt you down, man. And a 1v3 all of a sudden for Florence. This was really the last straw for Detonate, as now it is 14 rounds at EG, and there has to be, I mean, a weaker bye coming up.
I don't know if this would be the quickest ECL match I've ever had. I almost can guarantee it would be, though. This is near flawless out of EG, just not allowing Detonate to do any work. Nothing going right. Even the contact plays, the little gimmicks that they have in the store. To be honest with you, they had a lot of space, but there's always quick reactions from EG. They're always ready. In a split second, they find quick recovery, and again, playing off each other quite nicely here. Although Rush, he doesn't evacuate. He doesn't want to stand his ground, and for good reason. These Tech 9s are closing in, although he goes for 1 more peek.
Uh-oh, George, though.
Yeah, he just saw his head up con, and now George is just going to be the nail in the back.
Oh, hello. Goodbye. Micro is in what would some would say is a tough position.
Ooh, let him slide.
Oh, and he...
Oh.
Well, hold on, Micro. No, not happening. So close, though. A great effort. But it's just simply not enough to stop this indomitable team that's EG. They have series point.
This time, Walco continues his performance 20-8. I feel like there's just always one. There's always one who has just a monster game right now. Stan's close behind him, 91 ADR. George has been doing good work. Rush, obviously, with the MP9 has been doing fantastic. But my oh my, is there always a single player that is rising above the tides right here, 20-8. What can he finish with? My question.
Oh.
But finishing quickly out of this round here is George. Rush. They want to get this one over and done with as soon as possible.
Oh, Wiz is even there, playing the headshot angle. It's all of a sudden a 2v5. And we're looking at Detonate only mustering themselves 5 rounds in the series. They're going to do this cool little drop-off. Hoping that someone pushed, but I don't think evil geniuses are going to be making mistakes like that at this stage of the game. Rush is even... He's going to swing past, almost catch the timing under Freshie. And has extra teammates to join him. They have Freshie pinned down and locked in. 1v5 for Micro. Position revealed. Flashbang dropped in. He is pinned down. And he's finished off. Walco's gonna do it. George is gonna take out his teammate while he's at it. And that is Evil Geniuses. 16-4. They dropped 5 rounds across the entire series.
Yeah, again, there's just nothing that we can say other than EG are looking in tip-top shape. This is critical heading into playoffs here, where we have a lot of tough competition, right? You want to be topping the charts here because on the other side of the bracket, you see a sea of tough...